Welcome to the deep dive. You know how it is, the news cycle, especially entertainment news? It just moves so incredibly fast.
Oh, absolutely. Blink and you miss something major.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So one minute you're trying to catch up, the next, well, you're already behind. Today, we're aiming to cut through all that noise, give you a sharp, insightful shortcut to being genuinely informed on the latest Bollywood buzz. We've pulled together a recent top 5 news roundup.
Right.
And honestly, there are some pretty surprising things happening just beneath the surface.
That's right. And our mission here for this deep dive is really to look beyond just, the headlines, what happened.
Yeah.
We want to pull out those crucial insights, try to understand that maybe hidden forces shaping the industry right now.
Connect the dots.
Exactly. Connect those seemingly separate pieces of information. It's not just about the events, but what they truly signify for this dynamic world of film and fame.
And ultimately what it means for how you understand it all. Okay, let's dive right in then. First up, a story that seems to have caught everyone off guard. Legal drama hitting a duo you'd probably never expect. Akshay Kumar's production house. They've reportedly filed a lawsuit, a massive one, Rs 25 crore,
Wow.
against his longtime co-star Paresh Rawal.
That's huge, especially between them.
Right. The reason given, Rawal's, quote, abrupt exit from Hera Pheri 3. Apparently fans, colleagues, pretty stunned.
I can imagine.
Kumar himself called the issue serious, but also added he hopes for a smooth resolution through the courts. So when you see these long-standing partnerships, decades even, suddenly spill into public legal fights like this, what does that really tell us about the industry itself?
Well, what's truly revealing, I think, is how fast a creative partnership can just flip into a legal dispute. It really lays bare the intensely commercial side of entertainment. This kind of high-profile lawsuit, it's not just about the 25 crore, huge as that is.
Right.
It kind of unravels maybe a darker truth. That even these really strong, long-standing creative bonds, they can snap.
Under pressure.
Under the pressure of complex contracts, financial stakes. We're talking about more than just the immediate fallout. A suit like this, it can send ripples.
How so?
Through an actor's brand endorsements, future projects. It really exposes how vulnerable these artistic partnerships are to the cold reality of corporate liabilities, you could say.
That's a powerful and kind of sobering way to put it. So, okay, legal battles expose the business side. But it kind of begs the question, how much of success is pure talent versus who you know? Which actually brings us nicely to a different industry dynamic entirely.
Okay.
Mentorship, connections. Wamiqa Gabbi recently praised Karan Johar, the filmmaker, for his support of Alia Bhatt.
Right, I saw that.
And what's interesting is this isn't the first time we've heard something like this. It echoes comments Aishwarya Rai Bachchan made previously, suggests a pattern maybe.
A pattern of influential backing, yeah.
And Gabbi was quite candid. She said she'd love to basically steal Johar's mentorship for herself. Apparently that got a lot of applause online and really fueled discussion about, connections and backing within Bollywood.
Well, if we try and connect this to the bigger picture, it definitely brings up that key question, doesn't it?
Which is
the role of patronage, relationships, versus just raw talent in making it in such a competitive industry.
Right.
These kinds of public statements about mentorship, they're significant. They really highlight how pivotal support from powerful figures like Karan Johar can be in shaping careers.
It certainly raises questions about fairness, public perception of fairness and opportunity.
Exactly. And it shows the immense value placed on having that strong network. So the question you posed earlier, is it fair to say connections trump talent in Bollywood?
Or is there still a path for outsiders purely on merit?
Yeah, it's the million-dollar question, isn't it? The tough one.
It really is. And one I think many people inside and outside the industry are constantly thinking about. And, sometimes the very public nature of these stars' lives, it intersects with deeply private moments.
Oh, definitely.
Which brings us to something more somber. Priyanka Chopra is mourning the death of her uncle, advocate Raman Rai Handa. He was Mannara Chopra's father.
Yes. Sad news.
He passed away on June 16th, around 71 years old. Described as a pillar of strength, deeply affecting the whole Chopra family, understandably. Priyanka shared condolences on Instagram, and the family was preparing for final rites on June 18th. It's just a clear example of how personal tragedies play out so publicly for celebrities.
It's a stark illustration, really, of that celebrity double-edged sword.
How do you mean?
Well, their private grief, it often gets amplified by public sympathy, right? Which is natural. But it can inadvertently become almost like a performance in the sense that it blurs the lines between genuine mourning and maybe a curated vulnerability because it is so public.
Yeah.
It's one of the deep ironies of fame.
That personal moments become public consumption.
Exactly. And that creates this unique challenge.
Yeah.
How do you process loss when you're under that intense scrutiny?
Very true. A difficult balance. Okay, shifting gears now. Let's move to some really surprising revelations from Aamir Khan. Shedding some new light on a couple of iconic Bollywood films, he recently clarified something apparently he was never approached for Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge, DDLJ.
Really? After all those rumors for years?
Right, finally debunked. But then, maybe even more surprising, he actually turned down Bajrangi Bhaijaan.
He turned that down. Wow.
Yeah, believing Salman Khan would be a better fit. And he even apparently recommended the role to him through the director, Kabir Khan. It just makes you think about all the what-ifs in Bollywood history, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. I mean, can you imagine DDLJ with a different Raj? It's almost like a sliding doors moment for the whole industry.
Totally.
But what really stands out there, I think, is the remarkable humility, maybe strategic foresight that Aamir Khan showed in those decisions.
Yeah, foresight is a good word.
Because this wasn't just about his own career path. It potentially impacted the whole trajectory, the success of a massive film like Bajrangi Bhaijaan.
True.
And actors' choices, not just their acting, they really shaped their legacy. And, you know, in a bigger sense, they shape where the whole industry goes. It's quite revealing.
How much an individual's self-awareness matters.
Precisely. How much that can influence the bigger picture. It's fascinating.
That is a fantastic point about self-awareness, especially in such a collaborative field. Okay, and finally, let's delve into an interesting recollection. This one's from filmmaker Vivek Agnihotri.
Okay.
It's regarding Deepika Padukone's visit to JNU, Jawaharlal Nehru University, back in 2020. You know, a campus known for its political activism.
Very politically charged environment.
Exactly. So Agnihotri's specific claim is that Padukone was, quote, reportedly unaware of the campus's political climate.
Unaware. At JNU.
That's the claim. And that her PR team misinformed her about the ground situation. The alleged result, according to Agnihotri, was that she missed chances to engage meaningfully with students, with the political discussions happening there. It really frames a look at that intersection of celebrity, politics, public perception, and crucially, information. Or maybe misinformation.
Well, it certainly highlights a critical point about the role of PR, public relations, in shaping celebrity engagements, especially when contexts are sensitive, like JNU. Agnihotri's claim, and we should stress, is his claim as presented in the source.
Right.
It suggests a scenario where maybe a celebrity gets a, let's say, sanitized or incomplete briefing from their team.
Right, curated information.
And they unknowingly step into a really complex environment. A PR team's job isn't always about total transparency, is it? It's often about managing perception, managing access. So this underscores the broader implications when celebrities engage with sociopolitical issues. There's a fundamental need for accurate information, for independent understanding.
Not just relying on curated narratives.
Exactly. It raises questions about the responsibility, perhaps, of public figures and their teams when they step into these politically charged arenas.
Well, there you have it, a real whirlwind from high-stakes legal fights showing the raw business side to the subtle power dynamics of mentorship, navigating deep personal loss under the public gaze, those career-defining what-if choices by industry giants, and then this complex mix of celebrity, public information, and politics.
A lot.
These individual pieces of news, they really do paint a vivid picture, don't they? An industry just constantly in motion. Careers made, legacies defined, personal lives and public personas just constantly intersecting.
It's a truly complex, always evolving landscape, no doubt about it.
Definitely keeps things interesting.
Indeed. And it leaves you wondering, doesn't it, considering everything we've kind of unpacked today, how much of what you actually see and hear about public figures, especially in entertainment, how much is an accurate reflection of reality and how much might be, you know, a carefully constructed narrative? And maybe what sources do you trust to really get beyond those headlines, to understand the fuller story? Something to think about.